Techno and the chemistry between Chandler and Joey was also incredible. Their friendship genuinely felt real. Whether they were fighting over food, doing stupid games in the apartment, or arguing over completely meaningless things, their scenes always worked. And honestly, some of the funniest moments in the series come from Chandler and Joey acting like children. Now Monica was also one of the funniest characters because of how competitive she became. This woman turned everything into a competition. Football games, cooking, cleaning, literally anything. And the funniest part is how terrifying she became when she wanted to win. Everybody in the group looked genuinely scared of Monica sometimes, especially during the Thanksgiving football episode. That episode alone perfectly explains the Geller family. Ross and Monica arguing like children, trying to destroy each other over a football game and acting like the Super Bowl depended on it. Absolute chaos. Now Phoebe might actually be the most unpredictable character in the entire show, because you never knew what she was going to say next. One second she's calm, the next second she's saying something completely insane, and somehow it always works. Phoebe brought a weird energy to the group that made every scene more entertaining. Without Phoebe, the group would feel too normal. And honestly, Lisa Kudrow played that role perfectly. Now another reason Friends became such a huge success worldwide is because the humor still works today. A lot of old sitcoms feel outdated after a while. But Friends still feels entertaining because the comedy comes from the characters, not just random jokes. The personalities are what make the scenes memorable. Ross panicking will always be funny. Joey misunderstanding things will always be funny. Chandler being sarcastic will always be funny. That's why people still rewatch the show years later. And honestly, even after all these years, Friends still feels comforting. The apartment, the coffee shop, the music, the group conversations, it feels familiar. That's something very few shows manage to achieve. Now obviously the show also had emotional moments, and honestly, some scenes were genuinely heartbreaking. Especially during breakups. But even during emotional episodes, the comedy never disappeared completely. That balance between humor and emotion is one reason the show became legendary. Now let's be honest for a second, every friend group probably has at least one person who acts like Ross. Someone who overthinks everything, panics constantly, and somehow creates drama by accident. That's why the characters felt relatable. Even when the situations became ridiculous, the personalities still felt real. And honestly, that's why Friends became more than just a sitcom. People connected with the characters emotionally. They felt like actual friends. Now another thing I love about Friends is how quotable the show became. We were on a break. How you doing? Pivot. Joey doesn't share food. These lines became part of pop culture forever. Even people who never watched the show recognize those quotes. That's how massive Friends became worldwide. And honestly, very few sitcoms have had that level of cultural impact. Now if we're being real, Ross might secretly be the funniest character in the show. Not because he tells the best jokes, but because his life constantly falls apart in hilarious ways. Every time Ross tries to act cool, something terrible happens. Leather pants disaster. Whitening his teeth to spray tan accident. The pivot couch scene Unagi. The list never ends. And honestly, David Schwimmer's performance is a huge reason those scenes became iconic. The physical comedy was incredible. Now at the end of the day, Friends became legendary because of the chemistry between the cast. You genuinely believe these people cared about each other. The friendships felt real. The arguments felt real. The emotional moments felt real. And that's why the show is still loved all over the world today. The jokes still land. The chemistry still works. And the characters still feel like actual friends. Anyway guys, let me know your favorite Friends moment in the comments. And honestly, who do you think was the funniest character? Ross, Chandler, or Phoebe? Because honestly I still can't decide. Also, if this video made you laugh even once, make sure you smash that like button because it really helps the channel grow. And if you love classic sitcoms, funny TV moments and nostalgic comedy content, like this, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss another upload. Thanks for watching guys, and don't forget we're on a break. I'll see you in the next one.